Hello and welcome back to It's All About You. As a reminder, you are your responsibility. Your identity is your responsibility. Your life is your responsibility. And what I want to speak to today includes a Bible verse, or it is, we are using a Bible verse with which to understand more, to accept more, the willingness required to give up the old self, to give up the old story, so that you may embody, you may be your true full self, or the God self, as I call it. So this verse is in the Gospel of John, in 5. There's a bit to it, so I'm not going to read it all. But basically what it is that it is told, and we're looking at this from a metaphysical point of view, not from a religious point of view. I am looking at this for how I choose to see it. You can take it, you can leave it, you can do anything you want with it. But in this passage, Jesus is going through somewhere, and at the side of a body of water in a town that they're in, he comes across a man who has been there for 38 years, I believe, and he is crippled or paralyzed. And Jesus says to this man, "Do you want to heal?" And the man says, "Yes." To which Jesus replies, "Then pick up your mat and walk." The man gets up, rolls up his mat, and walks away. So what I see this meaning, how I see this as a teaching, a lesson for ourselves, when we are truly committed and wanting to come home to who it is that we truly are, and the storms that can arise in the process of doing that. I find it's interesting that the man had been there for 37, 38 years, whatever it was, that we can spend decades living in a certain way. And we say we want to heal. We say we want to be different, have life different. But when you truly ask yourself the question, am I willing to heal? Or in other words, am I willing to truly change? Am I willing to have a true renewal of my mind? Am I willing to truly be transformed inwardly? And if the answer is yes, then we must be willing to walk as such. We must be willing to not listen to the old stories. We must be willing to not follow the old patterns of that old self. And to acknowledge that if you have been living in a certain way for multiple decades, then it's not always going to seem easy. There will be moments where you're thinking, "Oh, I've got it, I am it, this is it." And there will be moments where you feel like you haven't moved one little bit. And the voice that is telling you that is the voice of the voice of the old self, the old patterns, the whatever way you want to say it. And it's in those moments where you have the choice to say, "I am not listening. I have chosen to change. I have chosen to actually be the conscious cause of the effect that I am living. I am choosing to be the one that reality shifts to purposefully." Because reality has always moved for us. It's just that we were asleep to who we truly were, so it was responding and reacting and reorganizing to the patterns, to the conditioning, to the old coding, to all of that. But when you are truly willing to heal, as it is stated in here in this way, It means putting down the stories. It means continuously reminding yourself until you don't have to anymore the truth of who you are. A self-concept that is derived and retrieved from your God self, your full self. It is you deciding how you see and experience life and your world. It is deciding what you want and making it real and full and alive inside of you first, no matter what. And holding all of that in and as your true position. And reality reorganizes itself. And in doing this, not looking for the evidence externally that you are healed. The man in this story didn't wait for a feeling. He didn't wait for a divine shock from somewhere, a divine feeling or divine experience. He got up, rolled up his mat, and he moved. And this is what we are each invited to all the time. And this is what I'm inviting you into all the time. Are you willing to move without the evidence? Are you willing to know that you are already who you say you are? No matter what inner voice is saying, no matter what external voice is saying. Because this will be the greatest gift you ever give to yourself. The coming home to your God self, the coming home to who it is that you truly are, and knowing that you will stand firm internally, no matter the storm, no matter the circumstance, no matter what old self throws at you. This is where true power lies. This is where true knowing of self lies. This is where true confidence is experienced. Because you know you are unmovable, you are unstoppable, you are the all that is. And I wanted to speak to this today because I was in a written conversation with somebody in a Facebook group today. And it was only short, it was only small. But I could really see and feel how she was holding a story about herself while also wanting her external world to change. And I've been through this, and there's, so many, everyone has. But I could really feel from her an unwillingness to let the story go without the outside world showing her the proof first. Because if we wait for the outside world to have proof that you are quote unquote healed, that you are who you say you are, then you're going to be waiting a lifetime. Because that's now not how it's set up. You are the cause of the effect. If you're waiting, reality is going to keep showing that to you. Your old self is going to keep reminding you of the old story. It's going to keep telling you that it's not going to work, that it's not possible, that this is who I am. This is the wound that I have. This is the belief that I have. This is the coding that I have, whatever it is. Are you willing to be healed? And it is you and only you, through the power of God that you are, that makes that healing happen in an instant. I remember the first time I sat with that question internally with something that I was wanting to change. And it brought me to tears because of the intensity with which the old self did not want to let go. It didn't believe it had the power to let go or to heal. And in truth, really, it didn't. It was me as my God self, me as the true self, that had that power, and I needed to come home into that in that instant and say and declare to myself, I am healed. And then the relief, the let go, the dissolvement happened. And I had to get up and walk, meaning, though that healing was instant, that old self, its pull over my awareness, over my consciousness, hadn't yet fully dissolved, because I had been living with it for decades, like that man had been sitting by that pool of water for decades. And it's coming back to self, coming back to who I say I am, coming back to how I say things go for me. Because life is all about me. I am the center of my universe. I am the God of my domain, as you are. I am the cause of the effect that I want to experience. So I'll leave that question with you today. Are you willing to heal? And are you willing to pick up your mat and walk? So remember, it is your responsibility. You are your responsibility. Your life is your responsibility, and your identity is your responsibility. And if you would like to work with me, my email will be below in the description. Notice what you notice with this one. Bye.